Hi guys, my name is Alicia, and if you don't know who I am, I sell vintage clothing on the apps Depop and Poshmark, and every month I make a video talking about what I sold and how much money I made. So today we're going to be talking about what sold in the month of June 2022. This has honestly been an amazing month. It might be my best month of all time in terms of sales. We're gonna find out. And honestly, so much ended up happening this month, just like within the whole reseller community. If you guys didn't know, there was this whole Poshmark apocalypse where Poshmark basically decided to change shipping providers without telling anyone. And now since filming this video, they ended up changing it back. So lots of craziness this month, and I'm gonna definitely talk a lot about that at the end of this video. But first, we gotta talk about my sales. So this month I ended up selling 36 items. That is a lot for me. I would say my average is closer to 20. This honestly may be the most amount of items I've sold in a single month of all time. So 17 of those sales came from Depop, 3 came from Instagram, 13 from Poshmark, and I actually ended up selling 3 things at a market this month, which I'll get into. So Depop took the lead this month. This could be because of the whole craziness with Poshmark, but honestly, Depop has kind of been my number one seller for quite a while recently. And of course, Poshmark coming in a close second. And before we get into it, I did want to mention that some of my clothing I do get as like donations from friends and family and stuff. But if I did pay for the item at like a thrift store or something, for example, I will definitely be mentioning it. Alright, so the very first item I sold this month was actually on Instagram. I don't make a ton of Instagram sales, but when I do, I always love it just because you don't have to pay any fees or anything like that. So I ended up selling these Levi's 501 black raw hem jeans. Levi's are obviously kind of like a staple for any seller, and I ended up selling those for $30. I did not charge shipping because a friend actually purchased these and I was able to just like hand deliver them to her. And I actually got these for a really good deal at the thrift store. I only paid $5.52, which was really good for jeans, especially Levi's. So at the end of the day, I made $24.48, which is honestly really, really good, especially for a single item. My goal profit is to at least at the minimum make $10, but recently I've been leaning a little bit more towards the $15 to even $20 mark, so I was very happy with that. Then next up on Depop, I sold this Hawaii nostalgia tee. I sold that for $25 plus $10 shipping. And guys, I mentioned this in my last video, but I've been using Chit Chats for shipping for all of my Depop orders, and honestly, I've been loving it. I have not had any issues so far, knock on wood, but honestly, it is so much cheaper than Canada Post. So if you have a Chit Chats location near you, you definitely need to try it out and make the switch now more than ever, because Canada Post prices are freaking insane from what I've heard. So shipping for this item only cost me $12.77. So that is really, really good, to be honest, with tracking, of course. And this is actually a consignment item. I do a little bit of consignment sometimes. So I ended up splitting the profits with my friend. So at the end of the day, I made $8.71. So a little bit under my goal, but for a t-shirt, I never really expect to make that much money off of them. So I was still happy with that, but I do think like in the future, if I continue to do consignment, I'm gonna have to be really picky and only choose kind of like higher priced items, because otherwise it's just not as worth it for me. Then next on Poshmark, I sold this beach bum visor. I ended up accepting an offer for 15 bucks. And because I actually picked this up originally by a pay by the pound store, I only paid $2.25 for it. So after all of Poshmark's fees and everything, I ended up making $8.28. So once again, not quite my goal, but for a hat, I'm honestly totally happy with that. Then next on Poshmark, ended up selling these Denim Forum Yoko jeans. Even though I sell like mostly vintage items, whenever I see Denim Forum, I always pick it up. If you guys didn't know, it's actually Aritzi's brand of denim, and I swear it just sells every single time for like a pretty decent price. So I ended up selling them for $35. I believe I accepted an offer on them. And I actually only paid $4.73 for them at the thrift store. That's the other thing. I feel like they're really like unassuming and they don't look like anything fancy. So I feel like Value Village hasn't picked up on the fact yet that they're expensive jeans. So they always, I swear, are priced really low. So that means at the end of the day, I made $22.36, which was amazing. I was really happy with that. Then next on Poshmark, I ended up selling these Tommy Hilfiger vintage black jeans. I think I once again accepted an offer for $35. Now, I definitely paid up for these at the thrift store. They cost me $12.64, which is definitely expensive, but because they were Tommy Hilfiger, they were vintage, they had that like classic patch on the back, I knew they were gonna sell. So at the end of the day, I only made $14.45, but I was totally happy with that, especially because I paid so much for them initially. Then next on Depop, I sold this Las Vegas vintage crew neck. I think I also accepted this offer on Depop. If you guys didn't know, Depop has like a new offer feature similar to like Poshmark, and because you don't have to like commit to buying it when you send an offer on Depop, most of them just never follow through. So I was actually surprised to see that this one ended up going through. I ended up selling it for $25 plus $10 shipping. This did cost me $6.76 at the thrift store, so at the end of the day I made $9.94. So pretty much just hitting my goal, my minimum goal. But when I am accepting offers, especially on Depop, I kind of know that it's obviously going to be a little bit lower. Then next on Poshmark, I sold these Everlane blue skinny jeans. I was so happy to finally sell these because I've had them in my inventory for so long. I almost got rid of them the last time I did an inventory clean out, but something just told me to hang on to them. And it's so strange because I feel like whenever I watch like American resellers, they rave about Everlane, but for some reason these barely had any interest on them. But eventually they did end up selling for $47. I believe I accepted an offer. So then after all the fees and everything, I ended up making $36.38. So an amazing profit. It was definitely worth hanging on to them. Then next on Depop, I ended up selling this Wrangler color block button up. That ended up selling for $26 plus $10 shipping. Shipping was so freaking cheap at $11.60. Like that is unheard of from Canada Post. So once again, I love chit chats. So at the end of the day, I made $19.44, which was amazing. Then next on Depop, I actually ended up selling a bundle of 4, which was so amazing because I feel like I don't usually get that many bundle sales on Depop, usually more on Poshmark, just because I feel like it's more promoted, easier, I don't know. So honestly, that was so nice to see that. The bundle was of this red embroidered turtleneck sweater, this KFC collared zip sweater, these Request green cargo shorts, and this Jessica green floral maxi skirt. So I feel like 2 of these items in this bundle have actually been really popular on my shop lately. For one, the cargo shorts. These cargo shorts were actually getting pretty popular. They had quite a few likes. And they're actually like 1 of 3 cargo shorts that I end up selling this month. So obviously a really good item to be on the lookout. That's really popular this summer. And then the maxi skirt. For some reason, floral maxi skirts have been just like such a staple in my shop lately. I swear every time I post them, they end up selling. Like last week, I literally just listed 2 more and they are already sold. So they're definitely one of my favorite things to pick up. I did end up giving this person a discount because they did a bundle. So I ended up selling that whole bundle for $115 plus $10 shipping. Shipping was a little pricier at $26 just because, you know, it was a pretty big box I had to ship it in. And all of those items together ended up costing me $15.21 at the thrift store, meaning that at the end of the day, I made $67.17. So that comes out to about $16 per item, which honestly I was totally happy with. Then next up on Depop, I sold this Toronto library tote bag. This was actually sold to one of my viewers because they watched my video where I went to the Goodwill outlet. So shout out to you if you're watching. I always say that I'm like always so much more willing to give my viewers a discount if you guys let me know. So that's exactly what this person did. They told me they were a viewer, they asked for a discount, which I happily gave them. So I ended up selling this tote bag for $20 plus $10 shipping. It only cost me $1.43 at the bins, which was amazing. So at the end of the day, I made $13.82, which honestly I was super happy with, especially for a tote bag. Honestly, for accessories and like hats, tote bags, that kind of thing, I'm never expecting like a ton of money from them. Then next on Depop, I sold these Wrangler vintage bell bottoms. These were really cool. They did not take long to sell. I ended up selling them for $50 plus $10 shipping. They did cost me $13.54 at the thrift store. So once again, a little bit on the pricier side, but these were just so unique. Truly vintage. Like I literally could not leave the store without them. And once again, like I knew for sure they would sell. So at the end of the day, I made $23.34, which I was totally happy with. Then next on Depop, I sold a bundle of this Scorpio vintage purple floral maxi skirt and this Jessica vintage purple floral midi skirt. So a little skirt bundle there. Like I said, the skirts have been popping off this month. So I ended up selling that bundle for $70 plus $10 shipping. The 2 skirts did cost me a total of $8.10. So at the end of the day, I made $48.06. So that was amazing. That's like about close to $25 per item. So that was amazing. Then next on Depop, I sold this Penman's Blue Floral Maxi Wrap Skirt. Take a shot every time I sell a skirt. Sold that one for $35 plus $10 shipping. That's pretty much my rate that I sell the skirts for, and they just always end up selling for that price. So I only paid $5.52 for the skirt at the thrift store, so at the end of the day I made $21.38, which was amazing. Then next on Depop, I sold this Adidas baseball cap. I ended up selling it for $25 plus $10 shipping, and at the end of the day I made $18.19, which was honestly really amazing for a hat, so I was really happy with that. Then next on Poshmark, I sold a bundle to, once again, one of my viewers. They actually made a couple purchases this month, so shout out. They ended up purchasing this Atraka Vintage 90s blue jean and these Visa Vintage dark wash blue jeans. So I ended up selling that bundle for $78. It did cost me $18.28 for both of those jeans at the thrift store. So at the end of the day, I made $42.09. So about $20 per pair of jeans. So that was amazing, and I was really, really happy with that. So then next on Depop, I sold these Secret Ingredient black Velcro cargo shorts. That's the second pair of cargo shorts I sold. Those sold for $37 plus $10 shipping. And I only paid $4.96 for them at the thrift store, meaning that I ended up making $23.69. So very happy about that. Then next on Poshmark, I sold these TNA tie-dye fleece sweatpants. You guys would have seen me pick these up a while ago at the Pay by the Pound store. I kept them in my wardrobe for a little bit, and then during my closet clean out, I decided to get rid of them. But I ended up selling them for $31. I believe someone sent me an offer. They only cost me $3.21 at the bins. So at the end of the day, I made $20.78. So I was totally happy with that. Then next on Poshmark, I actually ended up selling a bundle of 3. It was for this Bahama pattern button up, these Lee Vintage Light Wash mom jeans, and these Arizona vintage jean shorts. So I ended up selling that whole bundle for $80. I did pay $11 for all of the items, so at the end of the day I made $50.89, which comes out to about $16-ish per item, which I was totally happy with. Then next on Depop, I sold this Polini yellow gingham maxi dress. I actually ended up accepting an offer on it for $30 plus $10 shipping, and the main reason I did that is because I actually only paid $1.30 for this dress, which is honestly crazy. If you guys watched my first Thrifting in America video, you'd know. So at the end of the day, I made $19.75, which was amazing. Then next on Depop, I sold this Penman's Blue windbreaker. Honestly, I've had this for quite a while, so I was very happy to see it just kind of sell out of the blue. That sold for $30 plus $30 shipping. And at the end of the day, I made $19.46. So that was amazing. Totally happy with that. Then next on Poshmark, I ended up selling these Vans green skater pants. You guys would have seen me declutter these from my closet clean out video. And I honestly did not think they were going to sell so fast. But I ended up selling them for $20, meaning that at the end of the day, I made $11.52. So not a huge profit, but for an item I was just trying to genuinely just get rid of, I was totally happy with that. Then next on Instagram, actually, I ended up selling this Tradition vintage green floral maxi skirt. I ended up selling it for $25. Once again, this was actually purchased by a friend, so did not have to pay shipping, just dropped it off to them. I did pay $7.23 for this skirt, so at the end of the day, I made $17.77, which was amazing. I was totally happy with that. Then next on Poshmark, I actually ended up selling this Eddie Bauer cargo skirt. I was so happy to finally get rid of this item because I've been selling it for so long. I noticed that like a couple people had liked it, so I basically just sent out a really good offer just trying to get rid of it. So I ended up selling it for $32. I think I also offered free shipping. So at the end of the day, I made $9.53. So honestly, a really good profit considering I was really just trying to get rid of this item. Then next on Depop, I ended up selling these Easywear vintage army green shorts. Another pair of cargo shorts that sold this month, and these actually sold really quickly. I ended up selling them for $40 plus $10 shipping, and I got a really good deal on these at the thrift store. They were only $3.60. So at the end of the day, I made $26.86, which was honestly amazing. And then these next 3 sales are actually from the Retroland Market. You guys may have heard me mention it in my last video or on Instagram, and I'm actually going to be posting a whole vlog about it next week. But basically, I only ended up selling 3 things, which I will talk all about in the next video. But the first thing I ended up selling was this Funko vintage denim wrap dress. I love this dress. I think it was so cute. It had been sitting in my inventory for quite a while, so not that long, but I was happy to see it go. I ended up selling it for $30 and obviously didn't have to pay shipping or anything. I did pay $13.09 for this item, so at the end of the day I made $16.91, which I was totally happy with. Then next up I sold these Lee Vintage Black Elastic Waist pocketless jeans. These ones I actually never even got the chance to list on Depop, but I ended up selling them for $25. They did cost me $8.01, so at the end of the day I made $16.99, which I was happy with. And then the last item that I sold at the market was this Tommy Hilfiger patchwork bucket hat that I handmade. I ended up selling it for $40, and because this hat was just made of scraps, it didn't cost me anything to make, just my time. So I ended up making $40 for that. Then moving on to our final online sales of the month, the next thing I sold on Poshmark was this Miss James Vintage Acid Wash jeans. Once again from one of the same viewers as before, so thank you so much. I really hope you're enjoying all your jeans. I ended up selling those for $39. I did pay $8.99 for them at the thrift store, so at the end of the day I made $21.20, which I was totally happy with. I feel like $20 is kind of like the perfect profit margin for jeans. And then lastly on Instagram, I ended up selling this vintage black and green floral maxi skirt. Wow, I think I sold 5 maxi skirts this month at least. Crazy. I sold that for $25. Once again, did not have to pay for shipping, just dropped it off. I did pay $6.31 for it at the thrift store, so at the end of the day I made $18.69, which I was totally happy with. So guys, that is everything that I ended up selling for the month of June, and as per usual, I'm gonna go ahead, calculate everything, add it all up, and we're gonna see how much money I made this month. I feel like it's gonna be a good one. Alright guys, so this month I ended up making $692.13, which is officially my best month of all time. So I'm super happy about that. It always feels good to like beat your past records. And I ended up making about $19.22 on average per item. So that was amazing. Definitely striving to hit those higher profit margins. And I honestly think a big thanks to that is Chit Chats. I feel like I've been saving so much money through Chit Chats, and yeah, I honestly could not be happier since making the switch. And of course, thank you to my viewers as always, whoever purchased something this month. I never expect any of my viewers to buy anything from my shop. That's not like the goal of my YouTube channel. But when you guys do, it honestly just means so much to me, and I just find it so cool that you guys love the things I'm selling just as much as I do. So thank you. And as for sell-through rate, I ended up listing 36 items this month and selling 36 items this month, funnily enough. So I had a sell-through rate of 100%, meaning that I sold the exact same amount of items that I listed. So that's really good. If anything, it means like I need to like be listing more, I feel like. So hopefully this wave kind of continues into July. I know June's always like pops off a bit more just because it's kind of the first month that's really warm. So while this was a really good month in terms of sales, it definitely had its ups and downs, which is my segue into the whole Poshmark situation. So if you guys didn't know, at the beginning of the month, Poshmark basically announced that they were going to be doing cheaper shipping at, I believe, $8.99, whereas previously I believe the shipping price was $13.50, something like that. What they didn't tell us is that they would be completely changing shipping providers to Pure Later, which at first sounded really exciting because, you know, if buyers are getting cheaper shipping rates, that would usually increase sales, right? But a big problem with Pure Later was that there weren't at nearly as many locations as Canada Post, which means that so many sellers suddenly did not have access to shipping nearby, which basically made it impossible for some people to continue their Poshmark business. So I feel so bad for everyone that affected. Luckily for me, I had a Pure Later close by, so I was like so thankful for that. The other little issues with Pure Later is that one, you could no longer use a PO box as your return address. So for someone like me who really values, you know, my privacy and like keeping my home address not public, that was really annoying, and basically I had to just use a friend's address instead, which is not ideal obviously, and I pay like over $200 a year for a PO box, so I obviously want to be able to use it. And on top of that, Pure Later shipping labels did not have the buyer's username on the label, meaning that it made it really difficult when you're like packaging everything to figure out what label goes on what. So that was really annoying. Although I will say Pure Later shipping was so much faster than Canada Post. Like people were getting their orders literally the day after I shipped them, which never happened before. So I honestly didn't hate it, but none of that matters anymore because after the huge outcry from everyone, Poshmark decided to revert back to just Canada Post at the original $13.50 shipping. So everyone's just really confused by this because the whole reason they switched to Pure Later was because of Canada Post's increasing prices. But it's like, what changed from then versus now that we can now go back to that original price? It's very confusing. I don't know, maybe once Poshmark made the switch, Canada Post realized they were losing a lot of customers and then offered Poshmark to come back. That's my guess, because why else would they not be able to negotiate that before? I don't know. We don't really know everything that goes on behind the scenes, obviously. But overall, I think most people are happy that they switched back. But it also makes it feel like all of that panic and stuff was for nothing. Like, what was even the point of that? I don't know. So I thought that was just interesting to talk about. I feel like I had to bring that up because that was like just like such a huge thing that happened this month. But other than that, I don't think I have any more updates. I'm super excited to see what July brings. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week.